hear myself through my headphones. Yes, man. Like, I feel real good about this right now.
Pay attention, because you are now listening to Permission to Speak Freely.
You heard that Killer Mike album?
Nope, but I heard you talking about it, so I'm about to download it today.
Yeah, it's a class. It's a bona fide. It's a bona fide classic. Like, he made me remember, like, I ain't heard a classic like that in a minute. Like,
Killer
a long
Mike.
time. Yeah,
Killer Mike. Well, I will say this though, when you tell me it's a classic, bro, when you put me on any album, boy, it's been legit. So I'm with you.
Bro,
I'm finna download
this
today.
Is a classic, and it's only been like 2 days. I was listening to it. I was driving to Virginia from DC. I was listening to it driving to Virginia. I'm like, damn, I wasn't expecting it. I never, like, I listened to like Run the Jewels and stuff, but I never really listened to like solo Killer Mike, like straight up like that. This one, man, yo, I was like, this is crazy. But that happened. And then Father's Day is probably going to be past by the time this episode come out.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know when the episode coming out. I really don't know because Black Mirror is out. So Black Mirror is out on Netflix, right? And Extraction 2 is out. So like after we record...
I know what's going on, right? I know what you up to, right?
Yeah, man. I'm probably going to finish Black Mirror, watch Extraction out. It ain't probably going to be no editing, man. So y'all might, if you listen to this, it might be Wednesday, y'all. Happy Wednesday.
Most definitely. It is what it is, man. Because I got to get on them too, man. I got to get on these shows, man, because freaking I've been all over the place since graduation, man. I've been all over the place, man. It's been crazy.
Since graduation?
Yeah, since my daughter graduated, man. So ever since, man, every day I've been like running. Every day I've been going to sleep like after midnight seemed like, man. Like every day. Because then I had ships to go to, you know what I mean? And get on the way. They leave early. So I got to be on the ship at like 4, 5 in the morning, plus all this rest of the stuff. So I've been, then my son got basketball like all over California seemed like. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's all over California, man. Like, good gracious. They've been having me running, man. They've been having me running, but it's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah, I've been running sprints too, man. Like my life been crazy, man. My dad, like I'm recording in a new room. So if it look different, YouTubers, it's a new room. I try my best to make it look as good as it, like, well, the same as it looked before, but it's crazy. Like I got a big light here. The camera set up different. It's just totally different. So, I'm recording from a new room. I went to the ship the other day on Thursday. I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that in a minute. I had a bad week, man. Ain't nothing been right. I got my water. I got my Defy water still. But,
see, that's nice.
It's nowhere near my laptop.
Oh man. Speaking of different rooms, man, like I'm not in a different room, but I had the in-laws in this room. Right?
Yeah.
So now I have my normal setup is moved. They got my mic over here somewhere. My laptop I normally have over here. Like everything just moved out the way. So automatically when I hook up today, guess what? We about to go. And my freaking camera's not working. And I'm giving Tish shit all the time about her stuff and my shit ain't working. Some bullshit.
Now you're gonna be blurry like Tish.
You was already talking.
You're gonna be blurry like Tish, right? That Tish vision, man. Blurry vision, man.
Yeah, I'll be a little blurry this week. A little blurry. It's okay.
What about you, Tish? You had a good week? This was like, your first week after retirement, right?
This was my first week after retirement. It was like real different.
Yeah.
Like I'm already seeing how things are like different or whatever. But I mean, I've still been busy though. Like I've been waking up early, like for appointments and dropping off cars and all that stuff. And so I've still been like, I really haven't like just rested like for a full week. But I mean, I'm getting my rest in though.
Yeah.
I am doing that. I am.
I hear a lot of pain behind that explanation. Like it sounds like you missed the Navy already. I hear it. Like,
man.
You know what?
Like, I
ain't even gonna hold you. I be like, I'm bored.
Yeah, I can hear it, man.
I be like all in the Chief chat group, like, what they doing?
For real?
Get up out that chat, Tish. Get up out that chat, man. Get up out of there.
I do. I be all up in there. I be like, man.
Get up.
Because my kids are gone too now, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's just like.
Get out that
like,
chat.
And it's different because like everybody at work.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's like.
Chilling.
to talk to. I was like talking to my aunt, and she like 70 something.
She was like, I gotta go to the store, Tish. I gotta go to the store. I can't keep talking to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got out of my chat. I got out of my chat group the moment I got home, yo. I got out of my chat group like after I left the command.
I told them don't take me out yet.
For real? I said peace and love, deuces. I said peace and love, deuces, and got out the chat before they even had a chance to say bye. Like I was out of my chat. I don't like. It don't got nothing to do with the people. I don't like chats. So I got up out of that chat, and even like now, like my command. I ain't even gonna talk about the fact that the day after I left my command, I got like 3 different phone calls about 3 different things that had to do with work. It was weird, but it was weird, and it wasn't like I didn't
from your old command or the new one.
Yeah, the old one. It wasn't like I didn't do something. It just was like some stuff was like people still thought I was there type stuff. It was just crazy. But I got up out that chat, y'all, so fast, and then we had like other like work chats, like different chats for work. And like people were still chatting, you know, so I'm jumping in the chat like, hey, I love you guys, but like, take me out of this. And then like some people was trying to rebel against my message. Like, now you gonna get this. Like, yo, take me out. Like, I'm not trying to be in this no more. I'm about to go to a carrier. It's about to be mad group chats.
Yeah, it is.
Or whatever like that.
You know it's gonna be too, man.
Yeah. Well, congrats to your daughter for graduating. Tati.
Yeah, man. Tatiana did it, man. I'm proud of her, man. Like, it was crazy, man. But she got it done, man. She got it done, man. At the end of the day, she got it done. It was a little stressful for a little bit there, but she made it, man. Man, she going to North Arizona, university for a degree in psychology, man. So I'm proud of her, man. Like I feel like sometimes like we do too much. I be telling my wife, like, I feel like we are doing too much to like help her. She should be doing a lot of this stuff. But at the end of the day, man, as long as she, going where she need to go and doing what she need to do, I'm good, man. I'm good. So I'm proud of her, man.
How you feel about her leaving?
Now you should ask, hey, if you want some type of emotional reaction, you need to probably talk to her mom. Me? Let's go. I'm like, call me when you need me, honey. You know what I'm saying? I'll be there. I'm a phone call away. You know what I mean? I'm a phone call away. Shit, I got one left, man. He a sophomore, but I feel like already my kids like grown. They got their own little minds, their own little worlds. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to like worry about them at all, man. Only thing I do is like when they need something, money or something to buy something, that's probably about it. Like they do their own thing or take them somewhere or whatever. But other than that, I don't worry about them too much, man.
Yeah, you about to be an empty nester, man. You know
man.
Yeah,
I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
Master Chief, empty nester, Master Chief. Like,
man.
Chief,
me and Ella gonna be hitting the shores or something. You know what I'm saying? Some shores, man.
Yeah, my nephew just graduated high school, man. He just graduated. He's going to Clark Atlanta.
Oh, he just
graduated. So he just graduated high school. His little brother just graduated middle school, and their sister just graduated preschool. So my sister had 3 graduations and
bro, your sister had a lot going on right there, man. Hope they was on different days because sometimes that stuff be on the same day, especially going to the same school, same day.
Yeah. And I want to let the listeners know now, like I don't know what's going on. Like I spilled water on my laptop last week while we were recording the episode. And I really don't know how long the laptop got left. You know what I mean? Like, but I went to Best Buy. I went to Apple. I went to Best Buy and I went to a certified Apple Care provider. And basically what I took from them was back up your laptop and use it until it dies on you, and then go get it. Cause I got the Apple Care stuff. So like, then go get it, fixed. And then just to put y'all on game with Apple Care, like my Apple Care expires September 18th. So from September 18th, I got 60 days to renew that Apple Care, right? Now, here's the thing with Apple. They don't tell you that. So if you don't renew your Apple Care within 60 days, you done. Like just don't have it. Like, but Apple don't, because I actually I was like, does Apple alert me about it? He was like, nah, Apple don't alert you, nothing. So after 60 days, you just don't have it. Yeah. But with Apple Care, I'd be good. So I figured when I hit like a span of time where we not going, because I'm like, man, I got to edit, man. I got things to do. I don't have time to not have a laptop. It's like, we just going to take your laptop and fix it. I got a question for y'all. It's not really a question, but I guess it's a question. What's the real Navy, right? So I say that because when I went to the carrier, right? So I always thought, when I was on the small boys, I always thought the carriers were the real Navy, right? I went to the carrier, and I'm gonna get into that too. But I go to the carrier, and my top, we talking, and Top was like, "Yo, the small boys, that's the real Navy, because y'all do this, y'all do that, y'all do this, y'all do that." I always thought the carrier was the real Navy because I thought the small boys tried to tell her everything we did off of the way the carrier operates. But in y'all's opinion, but then you might have a Navy SEAL that think being a Navy SEAL is the real Navy. But from y'all, what do y'all think the real Navy is?
Well,
my sea experience is limited. So to me, anything on a ship that's floating is the real Navy to me. So
yeah,
that's that to me. In any ship at all.
Well, most definitely, I'm with your Top, man. I think the small boys is the real Navy, man. And I say that because I was also stationed on the carrier for 2 years, man. And I'm here to tell you, it's night and day on the amount of work and the amount of inspections and the amount of everything that goes on a small boy compared to a carrier. It's like, man, I'm talking. I was no shit. Like, I wish that was my Twilight tour, damn near, man. On the carrier road, I was on there, man. It was like that relaxed. Because I remember going on there. I was on there like 5 months before I made chief on the carrier. So 5 months before I was on board. 5 months I made chief, and the first 5 months I'm on there, man. Like, I was told, like one of my chief was telling me to tone it down a little bit, kind of like relax a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, type deal, because I was all in the weeds and looking at stuff. And he was like, told me, like, calm down a little bit. You know what I mean? You okay? You good here, man. Like I said, I like you. I love you looking through all this stuff, not doing this, but you're not finna get inspected on this, you know what I mean? Like, you're not, like, you know what I mean? So it was kind of like telling me, like, reel it in, you know what I mean? Reel it in a little bit, man. You're doing a little too much.
Yeah. I mean,
man, real Navy, small boy, real Navy.
Yeah. I think different people just gonna have different opinions based off of their experiences. You know what I'm saying, with the real Navy. That might sound like a political answer, but I just think that, like, everybody gonna have their own version of what the real Navy is. And sometimes it's gonna be the version that you're not a part of. You know what I mean? Like, if you do special warfare, you might be like, well, ships, that's the real Navy. It might be some nukes, like, hey, nuclear is the real Navy, shit like that. It's STGs on our TikTok, saying, hey, STG life, that's real Navy. Like, we'll know what y'all do, man. We'll know what the STGs. We'll know what y'all do, man.
But I agree with that, though, Damo. I agree with that.
Yeah. Small boys, you agree, small boys?
No, I agree that, everybody gonna have their own, feeling about what they think the real Navy is. Different experiences and different stuff. So I agree with that.
Yeah. I saw those dogs too. I saw the emotional. So when I went to the ship, all right, so let me tell y'all about the ship, right? Well, first off, I saw those emotional support dogs. It was more than one. It was like 4 of them. People, they were like in a circle. I saw them off the ship and on the ship. They were like in a circle. People were patting them and stuff like that. It's kind of cool, man. It's funny being on a carrier. Like, it's already like a lot of different, stuff that you see and different things that the sellers get to experience, and somebody was telling me, hey, that money don't ever run out on a carrier. Like, they not really worried about money. So I left my house at 2 a.m, right? So here's another story for me, right? I left the crib at 2 a.m. Now, the days leading, I felt like my leave was really bad. Like, outside of like the fact that, like, I had to go outside of the fact that we had appointments, like, because of baby stuff, or Angeline had to go to the ER or something like that. No day was like a predictable day that I wanted while I was on leave, like, where I could just chill. I had to get my tires changed. I had oil change. It's a lot of things I had to do. My dad told me he was coming one day, and he ain't come that day. He came He came the next day. It totally messed. So he came the day before I did my senior enlisted leader board, because I did my board too. I did my SEL board. It went well. It went well. So, but my dad came. He was supposed to come 2 days before, but he didn't. He came the day before. So then I did my SEL board. I would have had a day in between to get my stuff together, relax and chill. And then the next day I would have been going to my ship. Now, I was planning to go to the ship. It's a check-in day, right? So I planned to go around like 10, something like that. Like I was going to leave my house at like 7, 6 in the morning, get to Norfolk by like 10 or something like that. My top snipe calls me on like Tuesday, I think. And he like, hey, the EMs, they having a frocking ceremony at 7 and they invited you to come, So it's like, then he like, hey, bro, you're not even attached to the command yet. So it don't really matter yet. But I'm like, yeah, but y'all, I'm in my head like, but y'all asked me. Y'all took the time out to tell me about this and ask me. So now if I don't come, I didn't come. Like I didn't come. I said, no, I knew about this. I didn't come type shit, right? So, and then he was like, all right, if you don't come, it's cool. I'll see you at 8. So when he said, if you don't come, the thing starts at 7. And he says, if you don't come, it's cool. I'll see you at 8. I understand the expectation. Like they want me there early anyway. So I was like, all right, let me just, then I was like, all right, I'll be there at 7. So I leave the house at 2. I get to the base. Man, I'm thinking I got all my stuff together. I went out. I got brand new ribbons. I got shiny anchors, everything good to go. I'm straight. I'm wearing my whites first day type. So I get to the base. I go to this Gateway Inn. The Gateway Inn is nobody there. It's like nobody in the lobby or nothing. I got to piss and I need to change because I'm like, I'm going to change before I, go to the ship. I'm going to go to the ship in my whites. There's no restroom there, so I don't piss. I change. I put the whites on and I realize that I ain't have a belt buckle. I ain't have a belt buckle, yo. So I'm like, fuck, man. So I text Top. I'm like, yo, do you have an extra belt buckle? He like, yeah, boom, boom, boom. Somehow Top was already on the ship, like ready to go. Like it's 5:30 in the morning. He like, yo, I'll meet you on a pier. I'll meet you on a pier at 6. So I'm like, damn, I don't got no belt buckle. Now, what would y'all have changed back into y'all civilian clothes, or would y'all have kept y'all whites on?
I would, it depends. If I would have had my jacket, I would have freaking probably came and put the jacket on and went got a belt buckle. You know what I mean?
But it was hot though, right?
It was early though. It was like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, but the NEX open early on them bases though.
It opened at 7. It opened at 7, but the frocking ceremony's at 7.
Oh,
7, yeah.
I probably would have rocked that jacket over that Eisenhower over there.
Now I changed in the laundry room of the Gateway Inn that was like vacant. What would you have done, Tish? Would you have changed back into your civilians? So, because now Top said to meet him on the quarterdeck.
At what time?
6 o'clock. It was like 5:40. Yeah.
5:40.
Not on the quarterdeck though.
I may have just tried to just like truck it out and just be like, hold my head over my belt buckle or something.
Yeah, I thugged it out. I did that. I thugged it out, yo. I'm sorry. Sorry, Damon. Thugged it out.
What you do?
I had a backpack. So I walked pretty much from when I parked to the ship with my backpack in front of my waistline.
In front of you.
Hey, world. This your boy Double, man. All the way to the ship, thugging it out. I love it, man. Hey, that's to let you guys know it happens to us, man. We human too. You know what I mean? Shit happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you walking fast as hell too.
Well, I was way ahead of time, so I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have to wait. You know what I'm saying? So I get up to the quarterdeck, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to, ask permission to come aboard, all that. So I do that. But fortunately, like I didn't have to salute when I came up the brow because they ain't do colors yet.
Before colors,
so
yeah.
I get on, and I tell the chief. I tell the chief, I tell like the people on the quarterdeck, I'm like, look, I don't got no belt on. I'm honest. I'm an honest person. I'm like, I'm trying to like hide it. Like Master Chief gonna come bring me a belt buckle. I had a belt on, just no buckle.
Yeah.
And one of the junior sellers, she noticed it because she she heard me. And I wasn't trying to like be secretive though. Like I knew she heard me. But she brought it up when I left. You know, she's like, I see you got that belt buckle, see here. You know, she was a CS. She's a CS too, so I already know she
you already know she gonna bring it up.
I know she was trying peep game, right? So I get to the so now I'm there. Yeah, I got the belt buckle. You know, I got lost on a carrier like 7 different times.
Oh yeah.
But so I'm talking to Top, and he like, yeah, we good. We gonna get you checked in. All you need now is your stamped orders. You straight. I was like, yo, I might not have my stamped orders. I had just realized that in that moment, like, I don't remember packing my stamped orders. Right? So I didn't travel from DC to Norfolk without my stamped orders, yo. So now he's like, well, you know, we'll check when we get to office. Like he thinking like I'm better than I am or something. We'll just check when you get to office. You straight. We check, you know, and I felt bad. I'm like, yo, I don't have them. He's like, maybe they're in your car. I'm like, I know they not in my car.
Yeah, I would have said they was in there and went out there and made them shit happen.
Yeah,
shit.
I was like, I don't got them, yo. So then we go. So then here's where everything we always talk about happens. He calls admin. Right?
Oh no,
he calls admin, right? And the lady picks up. It's funny because another dude was right there, and I could tell admin wasn't really in the business of like about to be helping, right? And the dude names, I'm like, yo, it don't look like admin gonna help. He's like, no, don't worry, call. All you gotta do is talk to such and such. She'll help. But when we went down there, I realized that the person that the dude was talking about was the person that they seemed like they was trying to help or whatever like that. But it's cool. I'm brand new to ship. Don't nobody know me. I get it. But I hear Top Snipe, he's struggling to get this person from admin to like do anything. He's like, hey, I get it. He's like, I get it. Admin don't open till I think it was like 9 or whatever. He's like, I get it. Admin don't open till 9, but this dude just checked in. He trying to go on leave. And then he was like, no, he don't have his orders. Cause I guess they asked it, right? I guess they was like, all right, just bring his orders, boom, boom, boom. And he was like, I don't know. It was a freak accident. I heard like they was asking for explanations.
Top trying to get you in there. Shots out the Top, man. Shots
Top was looking up.
Right?
Yo, and Top turned over. He looked at me. He was like, yo, you really fucked up not having your orders, man. Like they don't want to. So then he was like, let's go. They'll see, like, because first she is like, she ain't want to see me before 9. So we get down there, right? And she like, yeah, you just need your orders. Top like, yo, like, can you print them? Can we do anything? Man, she is like, no, he need his stamp orders. I was like, that's cool. I go to quarterback, call my wife, you know, boom, boom, boom. So I call my wife, and I'm like, damn, the part of the reason I don't got my orders is like just a bunch of shifty stuff happening over here. My mind wasn't where it's supposed to be, whatever. So I call my wife. She finds them, scans, because then you got to take the off chance that amongst this sea of blue folders that she'll find the right one. And so she did it though. She found them, scanned them, sent them. Get back to Top Snipe office. Randomly, the internet is like down on the ship, so they not getting the incoming emails from civilian joints. So it's like, I got to go off the ship. So I go off the ship. I'm walking around the base. I go to the Liberty Center. They don't let me do it. I finally wound up getting it done at the USO. Go back to the ship. And then the day that I go to the ship, it wasn't just the EM frocking ceremony. It's everybody frocking ceremony. So I get back to admin I get back down to admin at like 9:40. They frocking ceremony at 10. So they about to not help me. They about to not help me again, right? So I'm like, yo, I'm going on leave, you know? And then it was a dude, PS. He was like, yo, I got you. He helped me. He took care of me. And then I'm going to cut the story, right? I went to a production meeting on my first day, yo. I went to a production meeting on my...
Boy, they got you in the fight.
I went to a production... I asked to go. Okay. Like, I asked to go. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, let me go to that. I'll say this. I went to the frocking ceremony. The EMs look like a good division. They look excited to have a senior chief there. They look excited to have an LCPO there right now. EM1 is acting as LCPO. The department, the morale looks great. Top Snipe is hilarious, man. Everything looks good. So I'm excited to join that team. I won't be back there until like July, but I'm super excited to join that team. And about all of that, I'll say this to the listeners. I'm recording in a different room. We might have talked about that already. I'm unclear about a lot of stuff that got to do with the pod right now. I think we're unclear. Let me say we. The only thing we know is that we're not going to stop doing episodes. I don't know how that looks, feels, sounds, none of that at this point right now. I do know that I'm not doing no editing today. I'm going, like, very straight after this, I'm going to watch some Netflix. But I don't know what's going to happen with the pod as far as the delivery and stuff like that, even with guests. Like, we don't even have a set guest schedule at this point right now, just because we don't see the future yet. And I'm not going to see the future until after July when I get back to the ship.
Yeah.
Right. That's it. That's my story.
And then on top of that, I should be having orders around August. So that's another, something to think about on where we're going to be going and where I might be going to VA.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, come through, man. Come.
We'll see what happens.
Hopefully you come to the ship. Hopefully you come to my ship. Let's get you over there.
Well, y'all know where to find me.
Yeah.
I'll be over here.
Yeah, we'll be
lonely at the house.
Yeah, we'll be texting you so you can, get online so you can podcast. We know you rolling 10, 15 minutes late regardless. We already know that.
Yeah.
No, I will be better in retirement. It was just, and I was supposed to prove it today, but I came in and the laptop just was not having it. It was not turning on at all. I was like, man, yeah. I'm gonna figure out my technical difficulties. I'm gonna figure out a workaround because I got all this equipment, and right now I'm recording off of a phone.
Yeah, all that equipment.
Probably spent thousands of dollars in that room right there. Thousands of dollars.
Right, and I'm like, I'm about to use this, so I'm like, I'm determined to figure out a way.
Now I'm about to jump up in my. Oh, go ahead.
No, what up, Damon?
Yeah, I said I'm about to jump in my do better. What you got?
What's your do better, baby?
Man, my do better, man, is Navy comms on board the ship. Man, I ain't gonna say all ships. I ain't gonna go there. But I was on board a ship, man. I just cannot believe that I can go in one space off the main deck and can't nobody hear me. You know what I mean? We in this 2023, man. You know what I mean? People got internet underway. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff. And we're on a ship where one deck down, this guy tells me, we can't use our bricks from right here. We can't use our radios from right here. I'm like, what? You ain't like in the forward part of the ship and you in the aft. You talking about you're one deck down and your radios ain't working. What type of crap is that? So my do better is, man, we need to get together on these Navy comms, man. We too advanced now in the world that we having a communication problem, because I'm talking about it in for doing checks, doing inspection checks, but how about casualties? You know what I mean? And things like that. And we having comms problems. It shouldn't be no comms issues on board a United States naval vessel in 2023. Navy, let's do better.
Mine is Navy Times. Hey yo, Navy Times, man. So first, let me give Navy Times a little bit of credit and acknowledgement. They put out a report last year about the barracks at the Walter Reed over at Bethesda, right? No hot water. This was how they got you. This was the headline. No hot water, AC, or doors with locks for junior troops forced to live in hellish Walter Reed base barracks, right? This was they put this out February 4th of 2022. That was the article they put out. After they put this out, now I was working in that region at that time, right? So it was a lot of things happened after that, right? It was like some all hands on deck. Like people went over, even the Master Chiefs, everything went over. They found out what was up. They went and helped. They helped sellers move out. They went and got active and did a lot to fix these problems. So the reason why I want to give Navy Times some pride, and we talked about it too. You know, we talked about it on a podcast. Yeah. I think that was when we were saying why it got to get the Navy Times for things that happen. But it got the Navy Times. Navy Times did the article. The article helped, and action was taken based off of this article. That was good, right? So I do want to give Navy Times they props for that. Somehow, though, this same article, right? And I could be off here, but this same article pops up this week on Navy Times Facebook. But it pops up like it's a brand new article, brand new issue. All you have to do, and it's probably not Navy Times' fault, but I'm gonna blame Navy Times because they could have wrote something else when they shared it. All you have to do is click the link to know that the reason why they shared it is because they're sharing the fact that the article won an award. It won like some award for journalism or something like that, for like some form of, this story won a 2023 Society for Professional Journalists Dateline Award for investigative journalism in a newsletter or trade publication, and a finalist for non-breaking news in an online publication. So it won an award. So that's why they reshared it, right? However, we live in a different world. We live in a world of people that see headlines and see memes and they just start going off about this shit, right? So it's people all in the comments, like getting at, the base and all this for some shit that was a year ago, right? I don't really know what's happening over there. And I might be personalizing a little bit. And y'all can tell me if I am, because somebody I know is acting CMC over there right now, And I know, like, to me, that's irresponsible for a media platform to like put something up and get people to think. Because I know the phone is, because I was about to call him when I read it. Because I was about to call him like, yo, this the same shit from last year. They going through this already again? Like that's a bad, that's a bad thing or whatever. So, I just think Navy Times could have put like a disclaimer or put that headline up there about what they won before they reshared that like that. Because it looked like a brand new issue. And I know nobody took the time to click on the article. They just start making comments and going crazy about the shit.
So yeah. Hey, so real quick, man, I'm glad you said that because I had already took notes. I was ready to go in on Walter Reed again. You know what I mean? I was like, look, because look, you put the article in there, right? So the only thing you had was the article, and you put, I know it's probably for your notes of what you was going to do. You put the article. I just clicked the article. You know what I mean? I'm like, what? So I'm already jotted some shit down, ready to go in now. Okay, I'm tracking now, man. Because you're right, though. That's how I looked at it. I looked at it. These motherfuckers ain't got their shit together yet. So yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I'm glad I ain't go too hard on them people. I was about to, because you one of them. I was about to say, I was about to go hard on people that don't read the joke before but David one of them, so I'm glad I ain't say too much, man.
I want them, bro. I want them. I was ready.
You know how right away you be saying something about somebody and then it be like the person cousin or whatever, like, yo, yeah, she
yeah, man, my boy did that. My boy did the same thing, man. Shit.
Yeah. They like, yo, that's my cousin you talk about. You gotta do better, Tish? Tish ain't gotta do better.
Right now, my do better is me.
Sometimes it's like that, Tish.
Right.
Sometimes
Let's go, man.
I got to do better. Man, like, just with my whole setup, I just gotta do better.
Yeah.
So I be late because I'm fighting with my computer every week. I set it up and then that morning it don't be what it's supposed to be. I be fuzzy. Like what you said, we in the top 100 and I'm over here acting like we number
top 200. Top 200.
Sometimes top 100, but top 200.
Yeah, sometimes top 200, and here I am over here with the fuzzy face.
Yeah, man. We never gonna overtake Joe Rogan, man.
Yeah, I mean, Tish, I want to like sometimes when people want to do better and they talk about it, and I want to come in and say, oh, it ain't that bad, but no, I'm not today.
It's bad.
Yeah, I want to add to it.
Even when we do record, like, it be issues just with getting the information over, like getting the video feed over. Yeah. So it just be
internet, cards.
I'm kind of glad.
Computer.
I'm kind of glad you wasn't
camera.
there for Eric, because Eric already had to go through enough, man.
I know, right?
Right. I don't think he needed my problems on top of your problems because I be having problems and I don't know, man. I'm going to get it together though. I'm going to figure out a method.
Well, Tish, I'm gonna give you one. Tish, I'm gonna give you one thing though, like just kind of calm you down a little bit. The only reason why I'm a little bit on top of my game, a little bit better, is because Dumbo was here when we started. So all my issues, Dumbo was like sitting right across from me. So it was kind of like easy for me to get through all this stuff. So that's probably the only reason why I'm good right now.
Yeah. But like he do be calling though. He does call and we try to work through the issues, but I don't know, like my setup is just it's not speaking top 200 at all. Yeah. Like I'm gonna have to figure out something something to make it better. So yeah, I am my whole do better.
Yeah.
I'm a whole do better.
Yeah. That's good though. Did y'all see like this wasn't a topic, but did y'all see like all the memes and stuff going around from like the junior sellers saying like after the exam, for instance, like if they didn't make it, that like the Chiefs, like all they got to say is study harder. Did y'all see that?
No, I didn't see that. I didn't see
For real?
That. It's true though.
Yeah, they said like it's like a joke. Like all the Chiefs say is, "Well, you should have studied harder." Like you should have studied harder. Do you? My thing though, my question is like, what do you do? Like, do you continue to say that? Like after you look at their profile sheet, or do you do something? I'm a little different when it comes to people that don't advance. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But like, what do you do, Damon? Do you be like, yo, let me see your profile sheet or whatever?
First off, I do see the profile sheet. I always look at the profile sheet because I think that's the start, right? That's the beginning of it. To see what they did, see what they weak at or better at or whatever the case may be, right? And then I do ask about the study habits though. Because sometimes, man, and I was there though. I was there and I know how much study time I put in and it wasn't a lot. And the reason why it wasn't a lot sometimes is because a lot of our stuff comes from doing our job in DC. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. Only thing about DC, you go to different platforms and it's just more of it. You know what I mean? It's more of it, but it's most of the same when it comes to, especially you're talking about the E4 exam and a lot of stuff on the E5 exam. They're not talking about, instructions and all the admin stuff on those exams, right? So I be want to find out, how they studying. But also what I learned is that a lot of those profile sheets for DC damn near be the same every year. You know what I mean? The topic, the topics damn near the same, right? And now they break it down even more. Now, when I was going through, it wasn't broke down that much. It was just a topic, and it just be like the 555. Man, the 555 is like 1,000 some pages. You know what I mean? Like you ain't telling me nothing right now. But now they are breaking this thing down a lot more too. Mm-hmm. So we always gonna start off, and I'm with the junior sailors when they say, "Oh, only thing my chief say is study." But at the same time, it ain't like it's like it's a board. You know what I mean? For you to advance, you have to study. You have to do good on the exam. How you gonna do good on the damn exam? You gotta freaking study for the test. You know what I mean? I got what they saying. So now, if you want to say, what can I do to help? Now that's a whole different ball game. Now I'm talking about our training program. I'm start tailoring that to a little bit, depending on what's going on, to some of the stuff that may be on exam or some of those topics at least, right? But it's still gonna fall back around studying. It's always gonna be. No, I know it don't laugh at, right? But it's still coming back around studying though.
He try to finish it. Look, this is why I'm laughing. I'm laughing because he said depending on what's going on, right? Depending on what's going on is the grayest area in the world, And me and Damien said he's knocked down, drag out conversations a whole lot, right? But depending on what's going on changes everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hey, we could tell her this whole training session to the wage of trading you need, depending on what's going on. Yeah. But it's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, especially on board a ship. Dumbo, you are right on the head. I'm not even gonna go back rebuttal nothing from what you're saying because it's so real. Like on the ship, it's so much shit going on that it's hard to like. I got another topic up later. Going to talk about this a little bit too about like trying to train sailors and stuff like that. But it's hard, man. It's hard out there to try for a chief to come up and tell you, "Hey, we're gonna work on this. I'm gonna give you like some time. We gonna go here and I'm gonna train on this topic for 2 hours on this, and you can't do that during the working hours.
I can see it now, Damon. I can see it now. Junior DC3 come to your office. Hey, senior, it's 10:00. We supposed to be talking about the Ram fan today. You know, don't you know we got the red team? Don't you know we got the red team on board? I told you, depending on what's going on.
Hey, world, don't be laughing at Dumbo, man. You guys don't be laughing at Dumbo, man. Don't laugh at this. But it's real, though. It's real as hell.
It's true. You know it's true, though.
Yeah,
I've had the same issue. Like, I'll put it on the schedule, like, all right, every week at this time, we're going to do training. And it's like, something's happening, something's hot. Got to get something to the admiral. Like, okay, well, we're going to slide the training over. We're going to have to move it. Let's push it like an hour. Let's push it to tomorrow. And then
something happen tomorrow.
Yeah. Right. It's always going to be something.
What'd you do when your sellers... What's up?
And you know we be trying to be proactive too, man. We try to tell them a week, hey, on this day, it could be a week from that day. We're going to do it on this day. And man, when Monday hit, man, you got a whole new work week, man. You know what I mean? You got a whole new some crap going on, man. Then I feel bad too, because that sailor, he or she is only worried about that training that they supposed to got.
Yeah.
Doing that time.
Whatever you told them.
Whatever you told them. Remember that. Whatever you told them.
Yeah.
So it'll be proactive of you to find them and tell them, don't let them come knock on that door thinking it's finna go down right now. You got to go hit them up ahead of time, man. Yeah.
We feel just as bad as y'all when the shit don't happen that we wanted to happen. Like, I know we let y'all down. I got it. But we be, it's times that I used to have my stuff laid out. You know, man, Damon, we used to work together. It's times I used to have my whole stuff laid out. I wanted to do something with my division. Something come up in a meeting, like a morning meeting, and I'm pissed. I'm like, man, this changes everything. You know, like, fuck, man. Like, really upset, like angry, mad.
Yeah.
Because when you go back down to your division look at it like two ways. They look at it like 2 ways or 3. But all of those ways gotta do with that. Like, whatever you said was happening, it ain't happening no more. So you couldn't keep your promise, or whatever your word was. Or number 2, that you a bitch, and you couldn't, and you wasn't able to represent your division. You couldn't hold them down. You couldn't fight for them. You wouldn't do this or do that.
Yeah.
So you weak. Like, yeah, man. Like, we doing this now. We cleaning the main spaces now. Chief said we was gonna be changing light bulbs. Sorry.
Yeah,
what
man.
about you though, Tish? Like, if you have a seller don't advance, what was your normal move?
Well, I do the regular of the profile sheet. And because you always gotta look at the profile sheet, see what the problem areas are.
Don't quit laughing, bro.
You know what I'm saying? That's number 1. But let's see what the problem is.
Yeah.
Because if I see like, I scored 5% in ad sales, like, what?
Yeah, you do better.
So this is where our focus is gonna be. So I try to like tailor it to like the profile sheet, what they did well on, what they didn't do so well on. And then I try to implement the training into what we're doing. And so like with ours, I don't know, like we have like different type of cases. So if that type of case comes up, then we gonna hit real heavy into the instruction so that they have a real life scenario to relate it back to when they go to take the test. Cause that's what helped me out. And so I've been like sitting there going in the instruction, like we read it, I have them read it, then they'll come sit down and we'll talk about it. And we'll go line by line, like start picking stuff apart about the instruction. And then I'm like, after that, then we're going to work on this case or whatever. I've had like my JAG coming in like, Chief, like, where's his package? I'm like, we training still, sir. Because everything's still going on. Like you said, Damon, like everything is still going on. I'm like, sir, we training.
Yeah.
Like, well, what time I gonna have it? When we done training. Like, you gonna have to stand back for a second so that they can like have that knowledge, because I know when I was coming through, I kept trying to do the flashcard method.
You know what's funny about what you just said?
What?
Like, the stuff that you dealing with, right, is probably more important than the things that we deal with on a ship. But you can't get that off on the ship though. I was looking at David's face, like David's face looking like, oh shit. Like you can't get that off to your chief engineer.
Like I'm trained.
Yeah, like he's like, yo, it's just a fire pump.
Yeah.
It's just a fire pump. It's 5 more of them bitches. No, we want y'all to fix we want y'all to fix number 2 fire pump right now. It needs to be able to operate in remote and it needs to be able to operate in local. You like, okay, well.
See, we always said there is no emergencies in legal. There is no emergency.
It's a bunch of emergencies in engineering.
Yeah.
It ain't no emergency.
Everything's a goddamn emergency.
In y'all world, there are, but in the legal aspect, there are no emergencies. So, sir, you're going to have to sit back, let me train, and wait on this package. There is not going to be a fire if this package does not come to you in the next 30 minutes.
That's good.
Sit down. And I think in their mind, you know, because they only know the legal world, like they even get on ships sometimes and they're still just in their legal bubble. They can't even get the what you call it? I forget the name of the qual.
SWO?
But they
Their SWO pen?
Yeah, they can't even like go through the SWO pen process really. And so like they don't have like that Navy knowledge. So like us as chiefs, we be like, nah, that ain't really that important.
Yeah.
Cause it really ain't. And they just be like, no, like we gotta do this. We got nah.
Yeah.
We about to train.
Yeah.
Which is great for the sailors.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
It's great on our end because we can actually do that. But I know y'all cannot exactly do that.
Yo, but the thing is, everything is an emergency though. Like everything be like a light bulb is out in the main space, yo.
Yeah.
And then you gotta hear like how important. Yeah, you gotta hear how important it is for the main space to be properly lit. Like yo, I swear, like everything could be like fan core unit in the P-way. Yeah, now it's causing like every single thing has like this like justification of why it's an emergency, man. It don't make no sense.
Yeah.
It just don't make no sense,
it
man.
Really ain't.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, in the Navy, we like have backups for shit. Like we be having backups. Like, yo, isn't it another compressed melt unit? Yeah, it is. But because it's 2, we definitely need to have both of them up. Because if one of them go down, now we only using one. Like the shit don't even make sense. Like now we only using one of them. What happens when that one go down? You know, like well, then you know we could do this with it. Yeah, but what happens if all that goes? Like it's like, all right, let's just fix this shit.
Yeah, exactly, man. And then they tell you, and then Dumbo, I know one thing about you guys, man, that I tried to do when it comes to the fire marshal report, but you guys got a trouble call log, right? And you would think that trouble call log mean, hey, you go down there, you put stuff in the trouble call, we're going to get to it, you know, priority wise or whatever. No, that trouble call log pretty much mean you need to get that shit done right now too. It's an emergency too. Like we need to get this done
right now.
Right now.
Yeah, because if they put the job in ohms, they put it. You don't even like, you know, like if you use ohms a lot, you know how to use it. So people are like, oh yeah, like how do you use ohms and like how can I make you the assist work center?
Oh my God.
You know, like, all right, let me show you. Let me show you how to fuck me, pretty much. Let me show you how to do me dirty. Like, yeah, I got like 30 jobs in ohms, but 28 of them is for the EMs. They the assist work center. Like, all right, man.
Yeah.
And it's literally 28 lights out in the space or something like that, man. It's crazy. Yeah. So look, let me ask y'all a question. If you're doing something wrong at work, and this comes from somewhere, but I forgot where it came from, but I think it's in the same relationship to the what I was just talking about with the profile sheets and stuff. I just listen to a lot of sailors and stuff talk. And my question is this: if you're doing something wrong at work, how do you prefer to be corrected?
I
just come tell me. Like I really just come tell me.
Yeah.
Come holler at me.
Well, I think for me,
like be direct. For
me, it's broken down in 2 different from years though, right? Like when I first came in the Navy, you might have to walk and talk a certain way. But now as I've been in the Navy a long time now, yeah, I'm the same way. Hey, let me know what's up, correct me. And I actually probably tell you, hey, thank you for letting me know. You know, type shit. You know what I mean? Because I've been in long enough now, like whatever. But when I was younger, I felt like a lot of times people used to probably tiptoe a little bit when they talk. You know what I mean? Now I don't know why, but it used to be like a certain way. Maybe I had a little frown on my face. I don't freaking know. But people wasn't talking so as direct to me as it is like they probably would now. You know what I mean? So I think the time make it a little bit different. And I'm probably the same way now for a lot of young sailors, man. Like if somebody walking around, they look like they pissed off all the time, you probably ain't gonna be as direct as you think you're gonna be when you talk to them. You know what I mean? Unless you want that smoke. You know what I mean? So you just gotta think about it. So I think now, right now in my Navy career, man, let me know what's up. Cause I'm always, I love be criticized on something to get better, but young Damon, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah, and I get it from a lot of, it's honestly a question for the listeners, really, like, how do you prefer to be correct? Because if you're doing something wrong and it's wrong and you have to be corrected, somebody got to come tell you you're doing something wrong. How do you prefer? Right. I think it might have to do, my wife, she was telling me something at work that one of the dudes at her job, she works in a courthouse. One of the dudes at her job wore sneakers, right? So she wore sneakers, she pregnant, so she dealing with being pregnant and your mind ain't always there, right? So she wore sneakers into her job at work one day, and she talked to the new guy, like he's brand new, it was like his first week or something. So he saw she had sneakers or whatever. So she kind of noticed that, but she made a mistake. So as soon as when she went to her boss, she said, "Oh, I made a mistake. I got my shoes are in the car. I need to go back out and get my shoes." Now, mind you, the new dude at the job don't know about this conversation. He just know he saw her with sneakers on. So the next day he comes in with sneakers on. And my wife like, "I know this my fault." She like, "I know he saw me. I know it's my fault. I'm gonna have to, how am I going to go through that?" And I think that's the reason, why I asked that question. Now I'm gonna take it a step further. Does it matter who's correcting you?
Yeah. That's a good one. I would say because if it and it shouldn't,
right? It shouldn't,
because if I'm wrong, if you're wrong, you're wrong, right? Yeah. But if you are a goat fisher,
oh yeah, the goat fisher,
don't even come talk to me. Don't even come talk to me. Like, like when you get your shit together, then we can speak.
Yeah.
Until then, no. Or then too, like you have certain people that just don't know how to talk to people too. Like just in general, like the way they speak to people, like they talk to people like they're stupid.
Like, yeah, you right, but in the wrong way.
Right. And so like I can't really deal with those people just because they don't have any type of like couth about them. Like everything that come out your mouth, you just loud, wrong, or just loud for no reason. And I think those, like I've dealt with as a junior sailor, we had this weone chick. She was like loud and ghetto all the time. And like once, like, we wear our hair in a little bun or whatever. Once my hair came down, it's in the back of my head. So I don't know that my ponytail, like my hair is falling into a ponytail. Yeah. I don't know that because it's in the back of my head. So instead of her being like, "Hey," it's like closer to the end of the day. Instead of her being like, "Oh, hey, your ponytail fell or your hair fell," she's all, "You got a ponytail, da 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 da," all loud, and I'm just like,
giving it to you.
Really? Like, did you really have to do all of that? Like, it's on the back of my head. You could have just been like, "Hey, your hair fell," and just left it at that.
Giving it.
But no, I can't deal with those people. I can't.
Yeah.
What about you, Damon? It matters.
Well,
the messenger matter?
It shouldn't matter. Like you guys already said, it shouldn't matter. Like how somebody who correct you. But the issue I find out, the issue that for me is the fact that junior sailors, a lot of times they correct you between themselves. Senior was wrong about that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. But they never come tell you that. You know what I mean? That I was wrong. Like, and I got an example just happened to me on the ship where these kids tagged out a piece of equipment. And when they tagged it out, it was the same piece of equipment, but it was for different shit though, right? So time I get there, I looked at the tag and it wasn't second sign. So I'm like, I look at I told the chief there, I said, "Hey man, it ain't ready yet. It ain't signed. So I said, come get me kind of when it's signed or whatever. And found out it was for a different piece of equipment. They wasn't done with it yet. You know what I mean? It was in the process, but what we was about to do was already signed, right? So the kids had already talked about this shit amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? So when I get back down there, time I see it, oh shit, my bad. Told me I own it. Oh yeah, my bad. You know, about it's the right one over here. So I own the whole thing in front of all of them because it wasn't a big deal. But they probably knew that when I left out the space. You know what I mean? When I was walking out, they probably, all them kids already knew this. Because Chief didn't know because he with me. You know what I'm saying? So he probably didn't know. You know what I mean? Until they brung it up. Yeah. They probably, what I'm saying is they probably already know. So they don't say stuff. They just talk amongst each other. But I am okay, you know, with being wrong. You know what I mean? About something. Let me know, you know, and I'll be like, shit, my bad. Keep it moving, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm cool with being wrong too. I mean, we all human. I think some of these sellers, though, they done been through so much shit that they don't trust that we gonna be like, human. Like we make everybody like make mistakes and shit. Like just tell me I was wrong. Don't like create like this whole behind my back or whatever. Like just tell me I was wrong. I remember like I used to like, you know, the facial recognition joint on the iPhone when I don't know, it make me feel so old. I'm young, like I'm not that old, like compared to like some of the sellers, you know what I mean? But like I used to get in front of my division and I do like this, like at quarters, right? Because I use my phone and I like put it up, right? And my sellers, they was like, "Hey, Chief, man, yo, God, like hold it up to your face, like doing it to, like, you know." But and I took it. I ain't get mad. I took it in stride. The thing is, I got a sense of humor. I like to joke. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I do. And sometimes that's a defense mechanism as well, right? And I think that we got to understand when we using it as a defense mechanism, when we could correct it. Because people know that you're using it as a defense mechanism. And they might not want to keep correcting you on stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because I joke around all the time. Like I'm never really serious. It might sound like I'm serious. I look like I'm serious. But 85% of the time, it's funny being married and knowing this. Like, cause like at this point, I guess you gaslight? I don't know what you doing, but like I'm never serious. So like I'm never ever serious. So it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing with me. But since we passed our first hour, I do want to get into my latest alien update, man. You know what I mean? Like I can't, like y'all, if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you know every now and then I talk about aliens. I ain't gonna talk long. Did y'all hear the story about the aliens in Las Vegas? Did y'all hear anything about this?
No.
Man, I don't know what y'all be doing, man. Y'all ain't hear about the aliens in Las Vegas, man. So it's all over TikTok, right? These aliens supposedly landed in Las Vegas. This cop, they had the police camera that saw the landing or whatever, the whole thing in the sky. That's available. You can watch it. NASA just recently said it wasn't an alien; it was a meteorite, whatever. And it said it landed outside of Vegas or whatever. But after that, it's this family that called the cops. It's all over too. It's all over, y'all.
Yeah, I'm like that dude. In a few minutes. Time we get off here.
It's another.
Is that the one?
What?
I may have seen it. Okay, keep
I'm
going.
sure you did, right? Another story we didn't cover and we won't cover is the dude that jumped off the cruise ship. Like he jumped off the cruise ship and there was a shark right there, and it seemed like the shark ate him. It's another news story of a shark that, you know, on video, a shark did eat a person on video. We saw that they pulled that shark out the water, they killed the shark. They pulled parts of the dude's body out of the shark. It's crazy. Trigger warning. Sorry, y'all. Trigger warning. But like this stuff is crazy, right? But back to the aliens. So this family in Vegas, they go and like the aliens supposed to be in their yard or whatever, right? So they see them. They saying they like 8 to 10 feet. They see them. They got a video, right? It's a video of them seeing them and them running like they all scared. They calls the cops. The cops come because the cops believe the story, right? The cops come because the cops believe the story because they saw the crash, right? So they come. The cops like kind of scared too. Like, hey, if this happened again, don't call us. Like, handle it yourself. You know what I mean? Like this family, they all had guns and everything like that. But they go out there and it's a video and like everybody on TikTok like analyzing it, like, oh, there's the alien. You can see, because he's like the dude saying his name Angel or whatever. He's saying like you could see them, and he like you can't really see them because it's not clear, but they were there, you know. And he start like kind of analyzing his experience, how he froze up when he saw them. He explaining how they look, all that. Now, so on TikTok, if you go on TikTok, well, when y'all go look, it's gonna be like a bunch of people spotting, like saying where they see them at, right? So now it's kind of coming down to like two places where people actually believe that they see them at, right? The people, they speak in Spanish, I want to say, is the language they were speaking. I think that's the right word to say. But so you can't hear what like they're saying in the yard, but they don't sound like they acting, like they sound like it's some, even when he called the cops, like it don't sound like they act. It's been like more news because the family kind of disappeared. They've been saying the family disappeared, but the dude Angel just got on like, hey, they saying our family disappeared, but we right here still, you know. But they saying like people came to their house, like people in like cars with suits on, and like since this thing happened, or whatever. So it's just a real hot story all over the internet, and like people is bringing that. And outside of that is another story that happened with like this whistleblower confirming aliens as well, or whatever. So it's just a lot of different, like confirming like crash landings and UFOs with actual aliens being in the vehicles, and us reverse engineering different technology that they have for us to make our own stuff. This dude, you know, got on and just confirmed it. So until PTSF is over, I'll always give like alien updates. Yo, this shit is crazy, yo. It's getting crazy. You know, I think the first time I brought it up, Damon was like, man, like, it's no way. You know, I'm from Mississippi, man. You know what I mean? Like, we don't believe in, like, it's a big ass universe. It's one Earth. Like, all of life can't be on one place in the universe. To me, that's crazy. That's insane. But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I did see the video. I saw the video of like what was supposed to be the alien in somebody's like backyard, and he was like describing it. I didn't know that. I saw it and I kind of looked at it a little bit, and then I just kind of kept scrolling because I just figured it was like AI or something. So I didn't even know the backstory that it was in Vegas or none of that. I just kind of saw it was like, yeah, and I just kind of kept going with it. So I have to go back and look into it though.
Yeah, you want to know anything about aliens? You know, yeah, Damo all on top of that alien thing, man. You want to know anything about aliens? Just ask Damo. He probably know all the news and everything else about the alien, man. But 8 to 10 feet, bro. 8 to 10 feet? I ain't fucking around 8 to 10 feet, man. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, it was like
if something's standing in my yard 8 to 10 feet, it's a problem, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
You should have saw the family. They was running. They all had guns, but like they was running out quick too. They whatever they saw, they was getting up. But they was backing out that joint. Because they called they pop. Like, yo, like I get it. I'm your pop. Yo, but if you see something that's 8 to 10 feet, dog, like let's
coming.
Let's boogie. Yeah, let's boogie, dog. Let's boogie. They got the house, man. We be back. You know, when daybreak, man, because it was dark outside too.
Yeah, to tell you, man. All right, man. Let me get into this real quick, man. Traditions, right? Instructions, rules in the Navy, all this type of stuff, man. I like my question to you guys is, man, like what, and Tish, we can start with you, is like, what is something that we do in the Navy? We just want to like, let's get rid of this shit, man. Why are we doing this? You know what I mean? What do you think?
I'm a huge advocate. Okay. We all talked about it a little bit before, but beards. I'm a huge advocate of beards.
That shit gotta go, huh? You need them beards in your life. Tish need them beards, man.
Like, I just feel like y'all should be able to have beards.
Yeah. Like,
for real. Like, now that people are able to have beards a little bit, you know, with the little chips or whatever, like, I think they look nicer.
Yeah.
Like, men look nicer with the beards on. Now, it's not really a fashion show or whatever like that. But, like, they just look nicer with a beard. And it's like when you got to shave and, you got all the problems or whatever, it's just like, as long as it ain't no huge thing, then I don't even see, like, they've already debunked the fact, because I think at first they were saying it was because of the mask, but they've already debunked that. So at this point, like, what are we doing?
I don't know that they debunked it. I think they thought they debunked it, and then they came back and said it wasn't debunked.
Yeah.
I heard it wasn't.
Because I guess it depends on how full your beard is, though. Like, of course, you can't have no big old, it can't be all.
Yeah. I don't know. We might have to do some investigative journalism like Navy Times.
Right.
Because I heard they didn't debunk it.
That's the one that I would say is something that I think should go away. I'm a huge advocate. And then the thing is, like, we've changed so much with the female regulations on hair and nails and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And all y'all ever wanted was beards.
That's all. I got a nail. I don't even know how much mine will even grow, because I never had an opportunity to grow it. That's some bullshit, man. I'd be like 50, 60 years old, my first time growing a beard. That's some bullshit, man.
Man.
Right.
I
like being able to, like, express my femininity in the Navy, and I just think men should be able to, like, have their masculine traits too.
Yeah,
What about you, Damo?
You just said, Tish, but yeah. But I like, if you'd have said that on The View, they probably would have canceled you, man. Luckily, this ain't The View. I don't even know what that means. Like, it'd be like a deep dive on Twitter about that.
I don't like the unisex uniforms where we all look alike. No, I'm a girl. Treat me as such.
I'm talking about the dude part, the whole masculinity part, man. Like, they'd be like, is she saying that, like, men are only masculine because they have beards? Like, I'll be on the internet. That's how they be.
They do.
The internet be going crazy about stuff, man.
Like, no, that's not the only thing. But
you said what?
That's the male.
You said what about me?
Yeah.
I think for me, I think the Chiefs season, man. I think the Chiefs season. It could be
the whole thing.
I think it. I wanted to talk about my beard because I used to have a beard. I used to be able to go to command with it. Then they remixed that shit, and I had to cut it. Like, I didn't even feel like fighting the fight. But yeah, so the Chiefs season, because you said tradition that could be changed, right?
Yeah,
I think the Chiefs season could be changed. And I don't really know how to change it. I ain't really think about how to change it, but it's some things that I could point out, reasons why I think it could be changed. And one of the biggest reasons to me is the lack of motivation from people that don't want to be involved in it. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people that don't really give a damn about it. You know, they might say that they do, but by action, it doesn't seem like they do. You know what I mean? And I don't feel like they're like living proof of the best way to even shine a light on it if you don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't care about these Chiefs selects, if you don't care about these people about to be in your mess in how many how many weeks? Like 6 weeks or something like that? It was like 6-7 weeks or whatever, right? Yeah, so these people about to be in your mess in like 6 weeks. You know, and you can't take the time out to like help them, train them, whatever like that. And my thing is this. What a lot of stuff with me, if it's dying, kill it. You know what I mean? If it's withering away, let that shit wither away. And I'm not saying that the Chiefs season needs to go, but I think it needs to get rebuffed in a whole lot of different ways. And one of the ways is like, how do we get people to be motivated to contribute? You know, or do we just let the people that's not motivated go somewhere else and don't even try to force them to, you know, contribute? I don't really know, you know, how that looks, but different people see, like, I'm confused about a lot of it, but I just know a lot needs to change. It's two eras of people that see the season two different ways. You got some people that still want to be rough, still want to do this, do that. You got some people that still, that like is more important with training, educating, teaching this new group of people. And those sometimes clash in theory, but sometimes they don't ever really clash in the way that like is a healthy, clash where it's like, all right, let's talk about this. It's normally the CMC who steps in and kind of rights the ship when things get super confusing when it comes to the season.
Yeah.
Most of the messes I've been in, you got like the one character that's like the turned up person, the one person, that might irritate some people, or some people know that person is needed. And then you got like, it's just, because I'm saying a whole lot, and let me just say this, it's just inconsistent. And I think I said it before. The Chiefs season is inconsistent around the board, around the Navy, period. No command is the same, which makes sense in some ways, but it's some things that we need to do standardized every single time. We need to have standardized benchmarks. In my opinion, it's all my opinion. Standardized benchmarks every single time. Like I shouldn't talk to the next mess and they didn't do this all year. Or they didn't do this all season or something like that. And there's a lot that we can't talk about because it's the Chiefs season. And I still got respect for a lot of the things we can't talk about. But to sum it up, I think that, the Chiefs season could be rehabilitated.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dumbo. I think it need to be like updated. We do got a couple benchmarks. The benchmark is the training. The benchmark is the PTs, making sure they pass that or whatever. We got a couple of them. You know what I mean? But it's everything in between, though.
Yeah.
But it's everything in between.
But they not really, but they not benchmarks, though. They are mandatory items.
Yeah.
They like mandatory items. Whereas benchmarks for me is like this. At week 3, I should be able to go to every single command and like this benchmark is hit at week 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I got you.
And that way.
Yeah. I'm tracking, man. Yeah, man, because you're right. Because you got so many different people doing so many different things from different commands. And then all of a sudden you go to another command. And now you got everybody that came from all these different commands. And now we trying to put something together. And it's all a lot of shit going on, right? And we trying to come to a common ground. So yeah, I think it could, but I don't see, to me personally, man, and I'm not the guy probably for the job, but it seemed like it wouldn't be that hard to come up with some, you know what I mean? With some benchmarks, you know what I mean? It seems like it's not a complicated situation. But
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
While you talking, let me ask you a question. Should acceptance be the same?
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah. I think regardless, it should be the same. I mean,
I think every chief should experience. I know we can't talk much about it, but I think every chief should have the same being accepted into the mess experience. It shouldn't be different.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's most definitely different, bro.
Yeah.
It's most definitely. I've been in the mess since 2011. It's 100% different, damn near probably every time I fucking went through. But
yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because I think when you think about the fraternities and sororities, they have like you were saying, like the benchmarks, and they have a certain way that they do everything.
It don't matter what school you at. It don't matter what school you at.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a very good point.
Yeah. I agree.
But I like how Damon was like, I ain't the man for the job.
Yeah.
But somebody should establish it.
I know I'm not the man for the job. Well, you know what, Tish? I should probably change that. I don't want to be the man for the job.
He's like, because every time you say something, you're like, oh, that's a great idea. Won't you go ahead and do that? So you can tell he got that.
I'm not the man for the job.
But this is what we should do. He got that match sheet thing on lock already.
Hey, let me get to mine, Tish. Leave me alone. Let me get to mine. Hey.
He about to go delegate somebody right now.
Hey, I think what out there? You made me lose my whole train of thought, Tish. Is the trainings, right? Like the training teams, right? That's my thing. I think we need to come together some type of way. I was about to say some other shit, but Tish got me laughing now. But on the training teams is that we got too many different people doing a lot of the same shit. right? Doing a lot of the same stuff. I feel like we can come together. And we kind of started, like in the DC world, we kind of starting to do it though. We had the ATG guy come over and talk to me, and he trying to use some of the same training stuff that we have, the same inspection tools that we use, and trying to put it in their toolbox on for ATG. So I think it's they trying to do it, but I think it's more too. I think it's like too many different people, you know what I mean, doing the same thing. Like, how about ATG? Yeah. They the training group. They the only people that's coming on board these ships and training and doing that stuff, and doing material inspection, doing all this stuff. It shouldn't be IRAD. It shouldn't be RAD. It shouldn't be TMIT. It shouldn't be like all these different people, you know, doing most of the same shit, coming on board these ships. And what it's doing is, man, like we talked about earlier about training the ships. You ain't got time to train. Right? When you got time, because you got somebody coming on board. And then on top of that, they put these groups out there for assist visits. I don't know if you guys ever heard of these assist visits, right? So now on top of all these other people coming on board, now you got somebody that's going to come help you, right? Now, why not say, you always going to say yes to people coming and help you? Because if you don't say yes, guess what? When you fail something, they're going to ask me, hey, did you have this assist team come on board? And you're going to say, no. Why you didn't have them come on board then? You know what I mean? So it's so many different people that's coming on board to train and do these different things, man. I just think we should put it in one little sock, man, and everybody do. I know exactly who I'm finna contact. ATG, that's my focal point. That's who I'm going to every time. I don't need 8 other groups coming on board. So that's my little thought, man.
I agree with you. One of the reasons I agree with you is because I remember being an EM, and eventually we start prepping for the inspection team. Like, so, and different inspection teams had different expectations. So it's like, oh yeah, for this inspection team, then we need, it's the same I'm sorry. It's the same program. It's the same program. Yeah, it's frustrating. Because I remember one time, for one of these inspections, like S-Serve or something, one of the teams are like on board with you still. I forgot which team it is for both, or what inspection it was, but I remember the inspector was like on board with us, and we had the other team. It was like 2 teams on board at the same time. And I remember the dude, he was a civilian. He gave me some bad information. And I remember looking at him like, yo, come on, man. Like you messed this up. Like it's your fault. You know what I mean? Yeah. But as an EM, like we just get so, I as an EM got so caught up in, so some people are a little better than me with it. Like they'll take the hit from IRAT if they know it ain't going to be an ATG hit or whatever, right? But like me, I don't want the hit from IRAT. Like I don't need Chang or whoever it is talk about fixing this when, because me saying that, oh, ATG, don't worry about it. It's not even a good response. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, let me just make sure. So then you be like changing shit about your programs, your packages and stuff, because it's different inspectors got different expectations, even throughout like ATG.
Yeah.
That's, again, to me, just like I was saying about the Chief season, we need to be the same around the board. Some of this stuff that ATG do, right? And I ain't knocking ATG. I got a lot of friends at ATG. But some of this stuff be like best practice type stuff.
Tribal knowledge.
Like, yo, hit me. Tribal knowledge. Best hit me straight black and white. Just give me straight black and white. How this is done. It's a lot of people, and I'm talking about my rate, it's a lot of people doing things different ways because different inspectors gave them a best practice.
Yep.
Or whatever like that. And then, like I said, at the end of the day, with like to kind of correlate with Damon, like then you be having different best practices for different inspection groups. You know, and that ain't, that ain't it.
Yep. When they say it down, instead of best practice, let's say, well, I'm gonna give you my recommendation. Now you got a recommendation from this group. So now I'm gonna use that recommendation to pass this one. Then when the next person come, I'm gonna get their recommendation to pass this one. You know what I mean? Yeah. Same thing.
And the record, we all know what a recommendation is.
Yeah, do it.
That's what we all know what a recommendation is. If that shit hit a hit list, it ain't a recommendation.
Exactly.
It ain't no recommendation. Like I was just inspecting. I go to people, COs, like, hey, they don't have to do this. Boom. Because the CMCs be the main ones that's going to tell you they ain't about to do this shit. Like, CMCs to tell you, like, hey, where you get this from, where you pull this at, boom, 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 we ain't about to. And I tell CMCs, hey, it's y'all program. Y'all can do this how y'all want. this is a recommendation from me. This is, even when the program managers hit me up, like they asked me questions. One of the program managers hit me up the day after I left the command. And he was like, "Hey, what would you do for this?" I'm like, if I was a UPC, this is how I would do it if I'm prepping for an inspector, because I don't like to have to explain. I don't like to have to even explain stuff to the inspectors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want you to trust me or nothing. Like, when I'm getting inspected, I want to be able to point to everything that I say. You know what I mean? I don't know, you know what I'm saying, Damon, but I want to be able to, like, it's right here, this is here, this here is right here on black and white, highlight it right there. I don't want to be like, yeah, I do have 100% accomplishment on that. And they like, well, how? And I'm like, because I do.
Yeah.
I need to show you. I want to show you. I've highlighted, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's that on that.
Yeah.
But real quick, I don't want to stick to this long, but I was watching, I was on Task and Purpose, and this caught my eye. It says, military service, a major factor in extremist attacks, study finds, right? A detailed look at 3 decades of extremist violence comes as the Department of Defense struggles to combat extremism in the ranks. So it says, military service is the single strongest individual level predictor if someone will carry out or plan to carry out a mass casualty event, researchers have found. And that's according to University of Maryland's National Consortium for the Study of Terrorism and Responses to Terrorism, or it's an acronym, it's called START. And they looked at cases of extremist violence from 1990 to 2022, examining ideology, success rates, and motivating factors. They found that extremists with military backgrounds were 2.41 times more likely to plan or carry out a mass casualty event defined as killing or injuring 4 or more people than anyone without military experience. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I think also with it, the fact that they kind of know how a little bit better too, though. You know what I mean? They might can have the same, I don't know, mental health or mental something going on, but with that being said, they also know how. You know what I mean? Or they may have learned how to carry it out. How to get the hurt the most people. You know what I mean? If I put it here, I can be more effective. You know what I mean? So they kind of like know how to. So I can most definitely see those numbers being a little bit higher. But it's crazy though. At the same time though, that you would think like that you're, you being in the United States of America and things like this could happen. You know what I mean? But it does. And we see it every day, man. We kind of talk about this all the time, but if you look it up, man, when the school killings and all this crazy stuff that be going on, it always have you shaking your head all the time. So that's why I say I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? I'm surprised in a way, but all the shit that goes on in America, man, makes me feel like I'm not surprised,
Yeah, but what I'm thinking more about, like, because it's vets and stuff. Well, outside of, I'm looking at this other Associated Press article about 3 active duty Marines charged in the January 6th Capitol riot, right? Like, that's another article I'm looking at. A Marine saying they're waiting for Civil War II and all of that. But it's like, this is amongst our ranks, amongst active duty military members. So some of these people, of course, they were like vets when it came to this extremist stuff. They like got out. But it's like, how much of this is happening like under our noses that we don't even really know about?
Yeah. And then, a good amount because who is it here? Like, like FBI, man, it's so much stuff, man, that we, like the normal, sailor or normal civilian, like, man, so much stuff that we don't even know, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you got the FBI and all these people be monitoring all this stuff and everything that's going on. Man, if we knew all that shit, bro, we'd probably be scared to go outside the house, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
For real.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Like NCIS, like they look into all that stuff. They're monitoring service members, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times they'll catch them before they'll get a tip, and they'll catch them before, they do something. They've caught people on Naval Base San Diego a few times. coming on, and you could tell they were ready for war. It was about to be on and popping, like gas mask and bags with like all types of ammo in there and all types of stuff. But they get a tip, and then the person comes through the gate. Thank God they're on it, and they've arrested people coming through the gate, getting ready to plan out some stuff. So
yeah.
It's crazy. It definitely happens, and it could be somebody who's right next to us.
Yeah. That's the part that be killing me.
Yeah. I used to, before I became an LN, I was just kind of naive. I thought like everybody in the military were good people, and then I realized after I became an LN that we're just a reflection of society. We have the same type of people, and it's like when. Now it doesn't surprise me, but it's like, dang, but I'm not really like surprised by anything anymore.
Yeah.
We serve right beside some people. And it's funny because it's like, we're right there beside you. You're like, I never would have thought that they would be that type of person. Like we laugh and kick it all the time. And they go home and they calling you all types of
crazy, right? Yeah, all types of stuff.
Right. They don't like you. They don't like who you are, but they like you. And so it's like, yeah, it has made me look at people differently. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. No doubt about that.
Like
no doubt.
Grain of salt sometimes.
And then, man, on top of that, it's just like I feel like the whole Capitol riot thing with the Marines and stuff, man, it seemed like people were just sitting back, just waiting on something to trigger. And the thing that triggered them was the whole thing about, some people say the thing that Trump said and triggered people to go to the Capitol and all that type of stuff or whatever. I don't want to get into all that, but that seemed like it was a trigger. I was just waiting on something like this. You know what I mean? It was just like one thing, like, I'm ready now. Let me grab my stuff. I'm going down there. You know what I mean? It's like they was just waiting on one little thing to pop off so I can go handle my business. You know what I mean? It's crazy how.
You know what? That's true because a lot of them, like that mentality, they just they plan for like, oh, let me stock up on guns, let me do this, let me do that, because as soon as it's time, I'm gonna be ready. That's their mentality.
Yeah. I ain't gonna say much, but I will say I ran into the Navy sailor that was involved. That was in the riots too. I ain't gonna say. I can't really say much else.
Okay. So man,
just because of the story, but I ran into that seller. But before I do want to give a condolences to the family of Chief Gunner's mate Caprice Pryor. He was medically evacuated from the ramage. I saw this story June 13th, so it's fairly new. He passed away shortly after. It's not disclosed, the details and stuff like that, why he got medevac, not disclosed, but he died from a medical issue. And the cause of death, the investigation is ongoing. So rest well to Chief Gunner's mate, Caprice Pryor, and prayers and condolences to the family of Chief Gunner's mate, Caprice Pryor. I did want to say that.
Yeah. Sad, man. You know what, man? That you just reminded me of a story, man. I was on this ship and this sailor was actually a damage control man, actually saved this other sailor's life. Right. So the story was told to me where the one sailor was leaning on the flight. He was on the flight deck, so he was leaning on the nets. You know what I mean? Everybody go out there and they talking and they bull crap and they just lean there while they talking or whatever. And the net, one of the pins or whatever wasn't in there, and the net fell over. So when the net fell over, and you're supposed to fall inside the net, right? But the way it fell, he ended up on the bottom of the net. And he was hanging on the bottom of the net by his hands. And the other sailor, I guess he even asked, like, they was out there, and they was like, hey, if you call man overboard or something, they call man overboard, they do that big old ass turn. He said, you probably gonna throw him and sling him off. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be if you call man overboard. But your young sailor jumped in the net and saved him, man. Right? Like it was crazy, man. But I'm saying that I'm saying this to say that, man, we gotta be careful out there on these ships, man. You know what I mean? Be careful, man.
Yeah.
I saw a few close calls and heard about a couple on the ship too.
Be safe, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I got one more question, man. One more question I want to ask, man. It's about the ladder, right? And for the civilians out there, the ladder is something that we use to make sure we're on the right track, make sure we following our rate and our assignments and all that stuff. The name of the ladder stands for Learning and Development Roadmap, right? Things that we follow. So my question is kind of, are we taking this too far when it comes to the ladder and advancing? Like I have seen so many times now, I got everything on the ladder and I'm still not advancing. Right. I don't know what's going on. I don't know this. Right. I don't know that. So I'd like to get you guys take, on the ladder. And are we using that too much when it comes to what sailor, not the people at the boards and things like that, but the sailor that's trying to make rank? Are we looking at that too much?
Tish, what you got on?
If they are briefing it at the board, then I kind of consider it something that they need to be looking at. Mm-hmm. And they need to make sure they're hitting the wickets. Now, if they're hitting the wickets and they're still not getting selected, then they got to look and see all right, how are your evals written? There's a lot of different factors that go into it. How are you being ranked? So I think the ladder is a great tool because it's this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
If you don't at least do that, then, it takes the ambiguity out of how do I make rank? Mm-hmm. So that's why I like it. It's in black and white, and then they brief it at the board. This is what we're looking for.
Yeah. For me, I think advancement, success, and climbing up the proverbial ladder or whatever like that, I think is things that don't have to do with physical or action things. I think it's things that got to do with some other things that got to do with your soul and things like that, right? But I know we're not having that conversation, right?
I was the dumb will always gonna take it deep.
Yeah. I know we're not having that conversation, but I think it's give and take when it comes to what you deserve versus what you do, right? I think that's really what I think over everything else, right? I think that's what life is, kind of. But the ladder, this thing that was created by the Navy to help people advance and you could use it, it's good. I think it's good, man. I use it all the time. When I'm talking to other sailors, it works.
CDBs,
it works.
Yeah.
These are the things that work. Even if I'm looking at your package, I'm looking at your ladder to see what wickets you hit inside of that ladder. For me, it's also a way I like to be able to call people bluffs. So it's a way to call the Navy's bluff. It's no way, boom, boom, I'm hitting all this. But like Tish was saying, it is other things that you need to do as well. But those are the things to me, the intangible things that that's added. Your eval is good if you have the intangible things that's added. Now, some sellers might not agree. I ain't about to get into that part right now. But do what you need to do and then hit those wickets that you're supposed to hit so you put yourself in the best position to succeed. And those wickets, they just so happen to be on a ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what else I like about the ladder? A lot of times in a legal office, we'll have non-LN sailors, sailors working at a rate in their office. And so I usually will look at their ladder and sit down with them to figure out, okay, what do I need to be doing? Because you're not an LN.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want this to be a dead spot for you. So what schools can I send you to while you're here? What kind of duty station do you need to be looking at next? So they ain't in my rate. So it's having a ladder, I can pull somebody's rate and I can speak on what they need to be doing professionally. I like it.
Yeah. So
That's a good tool.
I agree with everything you guys said, and I agree with the ladder is a great tool. And the reason why I brought this topic up is because I talked to a sailor about this. Most of the time, my topics come from me having conversations with sailors, right? And my whole thing came back to impact. Like Tish said, you can hit every wicket on that ladder, but how is your evaluations written and showing the impact you had with some of that stuff on there, right? And that's where I think the person I talked to, fell short, right? They fell short.
Yeah.
Yes, you got the check marks. Yeah, you got it. But what kind of impact you had while you was doing this, right? So think about that the whole time too.
Right.
A lot of it's how it is written, because on boards and things, we are looking at impact, not just a check in the box. You got to do something with this collateral that you may have. What did you do with it, right? So that's kind of why I kind of brought that up, because I totally agree that the ladder is a great tool, man. When it came out, I was like, shit. I tell you what, when it came out, like, I was most likely like, oh shit. I couldn't, when I looked at it for the first time, it was kind of, my chief had brought it to me. And I looked at it, I said, oh shit, I ain't never seen this before. So when we got done with the CDB thing, I went, found it and looked it up. You know what I mean? Because I never had nothing like a check in the box type deal, for me, even chiefs and seeing chiefs and even a master chief, you know what I mean? All that stuff is a check in the box. I was like, shit, let me start looking at this thing and see what I got. You know what I mean? So it's a great tool, man. I love it too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And speaking of checking the boxes, did anybody else have anything for that one, for the ladder?
No, I got some. Well, I just wanted to say, like, if a chief telling you about it, then that means it's chiefs and stuff looking at it. That mean that they probably looking at it throughout your career. I mean, it's probably valuable. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's because we could be foot stomping like, you should probably do this. And they be like,
yeah, like all of us, we all looking at this thing now.
Right. But yeah, with checking the boxes, right? So y'all know, I'm retired. Well, not quite, but I'm on my terminal leave and everything. And so, I had my whole little, go through the admin process and everything. And, one of the check in the boxes that the Navy uses that I totally blew off was the checkout sheet. They gave it to me. I put it in a folder and I never took it back out again.
Dang, yo.
I thought about it. It was after my retirement ceremony. I was like, I didn't even do my checkout sheet. Like,
it's crazy.
Are they gonna come after me? But I'm wondering, how, did you check out properly? Like, did you have your checkout sheet and go to all the offices and be like, I'm checking out?
Hey,
or did you do like an abbreviated checkout?
Damon, can you answer for me?
Yes, he did.
100%. 100%. Side off. My admiral was even impressed when she looked at it. She was like, you got the whole thing? I was like, whole thing. She was the last. My admiral was actually the last signature.
The last signature.
And then I took it back and I put it on a CPPA desk. Like, the whole entire checkout sheet was done. Like, every single signature. I don't, like, that's just me, though. That's like a part of me.
Was everybody surprised?
I ain't really show it to too many people, but my admiral saw it. She was surprised, but she was like,
and you know why she was surprised? Because people don't be doing it.
Yeah, most definitely. Most
checkout sheet was done.
Even my check-in sheet, it probably got like 4 signatures on it out of everybody.
Yeah, my whole check-in sheet was done. And it's crazy because my whole checkout sheet was done and they still ain't take me off DTS. Like, I did my part.
Yeah, you got to be on right there, man. You got to be standing right there saying, I know, when you sign this, I'm out. Yeah. Don't sign it until I'm like out of there. Yo, that shit.
Take me out the system.
Yeah. I'm actually glad they kept me. I'm glad they kept me in DTS because I'm traveling and I needed to be already in DTS before going to this new command. So I'm glad they kept me in.
Well, I tell you, I tell you one good thing about the check in, check out, and Tish, you probably should have did this too. Is this officer hit me up? They was checking out of the command, and everybody on the checkout sheet, they email a whole email like, say, "Do I need to check out with you or not?"
Yeah, that's how I do it.
Because some of them you don't really need though. I mean, I really don't care about what you got going on. So he emailed it out, and my name some kind of way. I don't know why my name on the checkout sheet anyway, but it's on there. So guess what? I hit him back. No, you good, sir. Check out me. Hey, you good.
Yeah.
Oh, I think your name is on there
it
for
is.
that.
But I was
I know why his name on there. Yeah. Fab.
Yeah.
Hey, this is my checkout.
Fap is on a check-in.
Exactly. I said the same thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know I was on there till somebody came, because we all over the place in CNSP, right? Someone came from headquarters to my office, and he was like, hey, seeing you on the checkout sheet. I said, I'm on a checkout sheet? I didn't even know I was on it. And then
so what you do for that?
Nothing. What I'm getting at, you know how with the fat thing when something happens type shit. So I mean, I gave
that's what I'm saying.
I don't know why I'm on there, man. But yeah. I said, sorry. You came them 5 or 6 miles over here to talk to me. But
right.
They doing too much on y'all checkout. I'm interested. I want to see a copy of y'all's checkout sheet.
Oh, we got everybody on our checkout sheet. I need to see
a copy of y'all.
Yeah, man. They doing
that's
a little
crazy.
They doing a little.
That's why I looked at it. I was like, oh no. I think who I am going to go back to though is security, because I need to make sure my clearance, whatever they got to do with my clearance,
good to go.
To package that thing up to make sure it's good. Let's go ahead and work that out. But I think everybody else, like your analysis,
you still gonna be in MFAS, but you're gonna be in MFAS for 2 years because you ain't check out with MFAS.
Getting that little message,
right?
Yeah, I respect it.
Just drop me from the road,
especially leaving my last command and working in the admin space and working with like UPC and DAPA. I respect the checkout sheet a whole lot more than I did before.
Right, and I'm saying right. But yeah, that's why I thought about it though, because I was like,
yeah, but you thought about it after you retired though.
I thought about it after. I mean, I'm on terminal and I'm in local. It's still not too late, but I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, you don't want to be seen. I know you don't want. They gonna look at it like you don't got nothing to do but come to the command. And as much as you already told us you don't want to look like you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like yo,
like get up out of here with your hair all down. Like, get out of here, man.
Yeah,
you know what I
mean? Right.
Hey, so I got a story that I never heard about. It's older. It's from like 2005, I think, right? So it's an old story. No, it's from 2015. It ain't from 2005. I'd be crazy if I was reading a story from 2005. like y'all should tell me to shut up. But it's from 2015, right? So it's an older story, but I think it's a good precautionary tale, and I think it's still very important. And I never heard of it. So this happened in Jacksonville. So it says Navy vet's wife sues government for malpractice, right? So the wife of a Jacksonville Navy veteran is suing the federal government for malpractice. Her husband, retired Navy Chief Sean Hollis, was left in a vegetative state after a routine colonoscopy and endoscopy. I hope I'm saying the second word right. Endoscopy, I guess. Endoscopy. I don't know how to say it. Somebody, one of the listeners,
help us out.
HM.
Yeah, but I'm going off colonoscopy, right? So it says doctors performed a procedure at Naval Hospital, Jacksonville, about a year ago. Hollis's wife, Chrissy, announced the federal lawsuit in a news conference. Again, this was in 2015. It says that providers at Navy Hospital, Jacksonville didn't review the medical records or ask questions prior to procedure. And that's what led to some critical mistakes. So the wife said he has gout, he has sleep apnea. She says as soon as she said sleep apnea, the doctor's eyes lit up and the questions were over. Right. But by then, her husband was in a vegetative state. She said by the time the procedure was over, Sean Hollis was unable to move his body or communicate. So he goes to the hospital. I'll read one more thing. The lawsuit alleges the physicians didn't review Hollis's medical records, which showed a diagnosis of obstructive sleep apnea. Right. So they said the Navy vet was at high risk for complications when undergoing anesthesia, something the doctors should have known. Right. As a result, a series of failures began during and after the procedure. Mr. Hollis went without oxygen for an extended period of time, resulting in him having this severe brain damage and permanent condition. So that's what happened. So that shit is crazy.
Right.
You know, that shit is crazy. The reason why I say it's precautionary is because as much as we expect the doctors to know and do their due diligence, me, you know, and I hate to kind of say things that seem like it's against the victim because it's not. Like, I feel so bad for him. But as much as we expect doctors to know what they're doing, I'm in there talking. Like, hey, I want y'all to know I got this going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. But that's crazy to me that happened to him.
Yeah.
Bro,
you know,
that's sad.
That's crazy. But you know what, man? Like, I'm glad you said that story because when I was reading it, it made me start thinking a whole lot of stuff I don't say. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me having like 2 feet of my colon taken out, like thinking about it, like I never told nobody that besides, you know what I mean? The doctors ain't went back in 2018 and read that shit. Right? I got severe sleep apnea. I didn't went under twice as I knew that. You know what I mean? And I never told the doctors that. You know what I mean? So now don't be in there talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy.
For real. But you know the other thing I thought about.
And it ain't his fault.
No, it's not his fault at all.
For the listener. It ain't his fault.
No.
They should have done their due diligence, but that's crazy.
Right. The other thing I thought about, Dumbo, when I read this was like, I'm surprised about how many, this is like one of the first stories I didn't read about malpractice. Meaning like, I have read a couple of them, but I don't see this much. I don't see this as out. I don't see us talking about this. I don't see this in Navy Times a whole lot or military times or nothing. Like, seem like this should be like, seem like it should be more of things like this out. You know what I mean? Because obviously people are, you know, of dying in military hospitals, but I'll never hear nothing about malpractice though.
Malpractice, that's true.
Yeah, I hear.
That's true. I had a sailor that died in surgery.
Yeah.
With Navy medicine. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Sad, man. I think you told me the story too. You told us the story.
Yeah.
That's sad though.
Sad, man. Sad.
Right. And to this day, if the Navy is got to operate on me, I'll be like, oh no.
Yeah.
Damn.
Send me the shark or something.
And they've been cutting me up. They've been cutting me up. Let me tell you, I got one more story about, and I'm not hating on military doctors or anything like that, man. But so when I was back in Japan, my wife had a surgery, right? So she had this surgery. She was having these bad headaches, and they did a scan of her brain, and they seen these huge ass masks in there, but it wasn't like, they didn't know what it was. So they medevaced her to Hawaii because they didn't know what it was. So we get them to Hawaii, and long story short, so they looked at it. It wasn't nothing in there. It was just fluid backing up, right? Because her ears wasn't draining. So they had to go in there and put like stents or something there to make sure her ears draining so that stuff went back up. But the crazy part about it is, man, the first doctor came in there with his surgery, and he like cut like the back of her ear and went in that way. And then another, when we came back, and another doctor did the other side, right? So how about the other doctor did the other side? He did everything straight through the ear. Didn't have to cut nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like easy day, went through the ear, did his thing. And then on the other side, they cut the back and went through that way. Like, what? And I was saying, I was like, so you telling me she could have did this and been back at, you know what I mean? Done with. It was crazy, man. Yeah.
Right.
Just
doing things different.
Wow.
Yeah,
doing
different, man. Things different.
Like, that's been a theme, yo.
Yeah.
That's been a thing.
That might be the name of this one, doing things different.
No,
I think the name will be depending on what's going on.
I saw it, someone wrote it down. I saw it, wrote it down. I knew it.
Depending on what's going on.
Depending on what's going on, man. Hey, man, we need to.
Hey, so are we coming back with a movie this month? Are we coming back with a movie this month?
Yeah.
Now?
We got to come back with a movie, man. It's been a minute, so we got to come back. So, with that being said, Dumbo, I know we're gonna do things different on how we're gonna do the movie. So, you know, we gonna hook it up, man. I think it's gonna be real good, man. Real good.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. You got anything else, Tish? You got some stuff?
No, I'm good.
Mississippi, stand up.
We'll give them your cake story next episode. Right? If you make it and you on time and you got good cameras and you got good sound. Hair and makeup is done. And, everything is good to go. We gonna give them that
I need an IT.
You need an assistant. You need like a production assistant. You need a PA. You need a PA, a production assistant. To make sure you're good to go. I just wear the wrinkled shirts now. I said I don't care, man. The shirt gonna be wrinkled. Yeah. All right. Well, look, y'all. Have a good week. Have a good week. I would say weekend, but we drop on Mondays. So have a good week, everybody. Like I said, I don't know when it's coming out because Black Mirror and Extraction 2, definitely watching those. But yeah.
Happy belated Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, David.
Thank you.
Domo, about to be a daddy.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. Happy Father's Day out there, guys.
About to be a daddy. And all the listeners, happy Father's Day.
Yeah,
right,
man.
Have a good one.
Mississippi, what's up?
Yeah, peace out.